Hi guys, welcome back to Waxing On. It's Monday, and this week we're going to do another featured artist. Last week we had great success with the Beatles. Today we're looking at the musical career of Billy Joel. Now, reason I came up with Billy Joel, I don't know how many of you saw this a week ago. CBS running concert of Billy Joel from Madison Square Gardens. Now, Billy Joel's been doing Madison Square Gardens for 10 years. And what he was doing was once a month he would show up and do a concert. Now, the special that was on last week was in celebration of 100 consecutive sold-out shows. Can you imagine? 20,000 capacity venue. He sold it out 100 times. I mean, that's how strong his fan base is. And I saw this concert, and I'll tell you, it's one of the best things I've seen in a long time. It was just great to see him performing. He played a lot of the old tunes, but, fresh takes on it. He's got a great band with him. And you know what I liked about it? Nobody was standing up in front of me. Nobody was spilling drinks as they're wandering by. Nobody was chatting in my ear. Didn't have to fight the traffic. I didn't have to pay an exorbitant amount for snacks. It was great. I mean, I had the best seat in the house. No obstructed view. You were right there front and center. It was like you were on stage with him. That's why I enjoy streaming concerts. I mean, the last few concerts I've been to, you get people standing up and it's very disruptive. Sure, you can say you were there. But to me, I had the greatest concert experience watching this one, getting the best picture, the best look, the best sound that I was getting from these guys. It was great. Now, the other thing I find is didn't have any problem with parking, didn't have any problem with transportation, didn't have all that night. I mean, it was great. If I want swag, I can just go on his webpage. There's stuff there that I can order. I mean, it's not going to be any more expensive than it was at the venue. But it was just a great way to see it, and I couldn't get over the crowd that was there. Everybody was up partying. Yeah, they were all up, standing up. They were up dancing. They were singing along. They were having a great time. And that's great when that happens for a performer to see his audience doing that. And what also struck me is the age range. It wasn't just the old people that were watching. There were younger people there. His music appealed to a broad cross-section of people. And those songs sounded just as great and just as vital as they did 40-some years ago. So this week we're going to look at a couple of the albums that were some of my favorites. They're almost consecutive albums, and they covered a lot of his set list for that particular concert. Now, you want to go live? You can do that. I was checking out StubHub CA, so Canadian on there. The cheapest seats were running about $520. Most expensive were around $4,000 or $5,000 a piece. If you want to pay it, go ahead. Go and enjoy it. Go enjoy the crowd. Enjoy the $5,000 ticket and everything else that goes with it, plus get to New York to see it at Madison Square Gardens. But this was a great option. Now, I don't know if it's available online anywhere. I'm going to check later on. It's only been a week. Maybe it will appear on his website. Maybe it'll appear on CBS. Maybe it'll appear on YouTube. But if you get a chance to see it, you won't be disappointed. Okay, let's go back. Take a look at the albums. The first album I'm going to pull up is one where, to me, was his turnaround album. Sure, second album, The Piano Man, it had, some success. But then he had a couple of problems. And his last album before this one, Wheels Turnstile, his record company, Columbia, was almost going to drop him if this one didn't pan out. Luckily, The Stranger was the turning point. It was really his big breakout album. He was looking for a different producer. He tried to go with George Martin, with the Beatles producers, thinking that'd be a great idea. Martin wanted to bring in all kinds of studio musicians to back him up. Joel wanted to use his touring band, and he was adamant about that. So George Martin's out, Phil Ramone's in. Now, the albums we're talking about, I got three different ones this week. Phil Ramone's producing them all, and they all produced great hits, some great work. Let's take a look at this one, The Stranger. Who did Billy Joel have playing with him? Well, here's some of the names at that era. And this is about 1977 we're looking at when this was recorded. We've got Richard Cannata on organ, tenor sax, soprano, clarinet, flute, and tuba. There's quite an assortment. Dominique Cortez on accordion, Richard T. on organ, Hiram Bullock, electric guitar. Some of those names you'll remember. We talked about them, I think, with a session back with Bob James quite a while ago. So they're well known around the New York area. Steve Kahn, Hugh McCracken, another well-known name. Steve Berg on acoustic. We got Doug Stegmeyer on bass. Liberty DeVito on drums, and he was a longtime drummer with Billy Joel. Ralph McDonald on percussion, another name of the session players that we often see. Patrick Williams did the orchestrations. Now remember, we've talked about Pat Williams a number of times. Probably what I first became aware of Pat Williams, he was doing the music for the Mary Tyler Moore series of shows, Bob Newhart Show, Mary Tyler Moore Show, and I kind of enjoyed what he was doing with that, so I checked him out later on. Great arranger, conductor. Unfortunately, he's recently passed away, but he's got some great albums out. If you go online and check them out, as a band leader, as an arranger, as a composer, he's one of the best. And on here, we had another jazz great. The song was Just the Way You Are. You remember that great sax solo in the middle of that? Phil Wilson. So some great people on there. Sorry, my mistake. Phil Wilson's a trombone player. We're talking Phil Woods, the sax player. I misspoke. Sorry. My apologies to Phil Woods. Phil Woods on sax on that. Great stuff. Okay, we've got the lineup of who's on there. What kind of tunes did he do? We've got Moving Out, Anthony's song. Great one, The Stranger. Just the Way You Are. And I mean, that was the big hit from the album, for sure, for sure. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. He did a version of this on the concert. Just amazing. It was just great. I mean, it was one of the showstoppers for me. That one, and I'll tell you about another one later on, one of the next shows. But they were ones that stood out as just classic performances. Vienna, Only the Good Die Young. She's Always a Woman, Get It Right the First Time, and Everybody Has a Dream. Now in the concert, well, we had Moving Out, we had Scenes of Italian Restaurant, Vienna, Only the Good Die Young. A lot from this album worked its way into our concert. Now, had it on hard copy. I do have the vinyl around somewhere, but I couldn't put my hands on it, so I grabbed my CD copy because, yes, I've got more than one copy of some of these things. And what came with the booklet? Well, of course, we've got lyrics for all the tunes. We've got information on who's playing, who produced it, where it was recorded, all that stuff I love to read about when I'm listening. And some nice photos in here. Now, I mean, we watched this as a family. We've watched it twice already. But this music, Billy Joel was something my wife and I, when we were dating, it was part of our soundtrack. We listened to Billy Joel all the time. She had a couple of the albums. My first Billy Joel one, I think, was Stranger on 8-track, which I don't have right now. And my other one that I had was Glass Houses. Then I bought a couple in subsequent years. But those were two that we really listened to a lot, and 42nd Street. Okay, so there it is, kicking off the week on Billy Joel. Check him out if you get the chance. It was one great concert. If you didn't get a chance to see it, go back and revisit some of his music. Hey, another call coming in. If it's a Billy Joel fan, put him on hold. I'll talk to him as soon as we're done. Billy Joel, The Stranger. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. Some great music. Join us on Wednesday when we'll take a look at the album Glass Houses and talk about it. Till then, everybody, take care. Stay safe. Thanks for stopping by.